I keep it 100, like boarded in the streets, but especially when recording. Minty in the morning, then I beat up the beat like doors to a Mormon.
Jeez. Shimeah Beyond.
What's up? What's up?
Beyond the stars, beyond the galaxy.
Beyond everything. Beyond the brands.
The brands.
Yeah, beyond just the brands.
Are you beyond yourself though? Do you feel like you're too ahead of yourself sometimes?
Nah.
No?
No.
You just where you're supposed to be all the time?
I feel like I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Sometimes I feel like, you know what? Maybe sometimes I do feel like I'm like beyond, but not because I feel like, oh, I'm better than everyone. It's that I feel like in my mind I'm somewhere else sometimes. Like
kind of like a matrix, like I guess like the way you see things, you feel like it's different than everybody else. Like you're seeing things in coded, like
you
know what I'm saying?
No,
like
coded.
For example, I'm seeing a water bottle. You're seeing like, okay, how many stores could that water bottle be in, and how can we color it so that it can sell better, and like,
yeah,
you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, no, I feel you on that.
Yeah.
Yes, I wasn't sure where you were going with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, because I guess like when that was a good example with the water bottle. Like for example, like walking into a room, right, and like maybe some people see just a room, but what do I see? I see, okay, what can this room do? What can we do with this room? You know, to like take it to the next. I'm always trying to take everything to the next level. So like that does.
And your brain just works that way.
Yeah, I can't help it.
There's no turn off.
I can't help it. No
turn off.
It's like you come to with this one idea, and then it's like, we have to blow it up. You know?
Okay, to play devil's advocate though. Can't that be a bad thing sometimes?
It can be.
You know what I'm saying? And especially in a way where like, do you ever get to complete a project? Because by the time, before you finish that project, there's other projects that are popping up, and then you see what else you could do with that project, and no. Do you ever get to, okay, let me finish this, and then I'll go with the other ideas?
To be honest, yes. Because last year, not even just last year, I feel like throughout the past couple years, I've been doing a lot of different things. I've been trying stuff to see like what's working for me, or what do I like, and what's good and what's not good. And in doing so, and because I'm such a like, oh my gosh, this is a great idea, or oh my gosh, yes, saying yes to a lot of things can sometimes leave me like overwhelmed, I would say, and like, you know, overcommitting, I guess, to things. Overcommitting. So I would say like near the ending of last year is something I've really started to, you know, take accountability for.
The time out. What does that mean to overcommit?
Overcommit. Because I feel like I can do a lot of things, a lot of different things.
Putting too much on your plate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, overcommitting. Okay. So being like, yeah, I could do that, or like, yeah, I could do that, and then it's like, maybe not all those things are like money making activities, and not to say everything I do has to be, but it's like, I mean, there's 24 hours in a day, and like when you're a full-time entrepreneur, like you gotta kind of like make money. Like you gotta like make sure that like you can take on side projects and extra projects, but you gotta make sure that like the main things that you're focusing on are getting accomplished and getting finished. So just to finish like answering your question, I also too, because I want to take things to the next level and take them so far, like for example, beyond virtual assistant, one of my businesses, and shout out to my team for this, because they have to check me sometimes. They gotta tell me like, yo, Shimeah, like, slow down. I want things done now. I want it done right now. If I say like, oh, we should do this, let's do it now. I want to do everything now, and I live with a sense of urgency, which is good. But for everything, there's a process, and you can't rush that process. You can't. And so that's like.
And there's key elements to patience.
Exactly, and so that's something that I've been working on, because I'm realizing like, hey, Shimeah, you can't do everything today. Like Rome was not built in one day. you know? And so,
Rome was an empire for over 1,000 years.
Yeah, for sure. And
one
so,
of the greatest empires since. What does money mean to you?
Money's a tool.
A tool.
Yeah,
That's
tool.
A tool.
Yeah, it's a tool. I love money, but like,
are you obsessed by money?
I'm obsessed.
Could you be satisfied just getting by with money, or must you have?
No, that would be wrong of me.
An exceedingly amount of money.
I feel like that would be wrong of me to just be okay with getting by. Personally. Okay,
for example. Okay, how about let me rephrase it like this, like. To what, like, when I listen to Kanye West, to how I see he operates with money, like, he's not focused on stacking money.
Mm-hmm.
He's just focused on what he can do with the money and keep.
It's a tool.
Okay.
It's a tool. Because if I want to friggin' fly to Japan today with my kid, I want to do that.
Okay.
Let's go, babe. We're going to Japan.
Okay.
If I want to say we're going to Disney World, we're going to Disney World tomorrow.
And putting things into play where you can always make move and always do things.
Yeah.
So that's what you want, as opposed to some people just want to stack and have millions in their account. See, I see something wrong with that, because, like, you're going to die and someone else is going to spend those millions.
No
you know what I'm trying to say?
But I look at it like this. Like, I never had everything, the whole whatever.
Yeah.
But I've seen people that do, and I see people living in these mansions, and I see these mansions, and I see people living their best life, getting picked up in the big black truck, and, like, you know, leaving inheritance money for their kids and stuff like that, paying their kids' way through school. There's so much that money can do. Money brings power too, and, like, I like power, I'm not gonna lie. But the thing about money, my relationship with money is, like, I want to multiply it, for sure. For me, yeah, okay. But more so for my kid, like, and kids to come, like...
Okay, more is coming?
Yeah, for sure. I don't know when, but, like, that's the plan.
Okay.
But, like, you know, like, when I go into the store... Not to say everything is materialistic, but I just want to be good. Like, I want to, like, go into the store and not have to be like, let me check my bank account quick.
Yeah. You
like,
oh,
you want that? Sorry, we can't get that today?
Yeah.
Maybe next time. I don't want to do that. I've had to do that, and I don't want to do that. And there's certain experiences that I've lived that I don't want my kid to live. And so, like, that's why my hustle is so, like, you know, like, I don't know the word, but it's so, like I'm on go all the time, because I want to do things. I want to have experiences. I want to go to, like, Africa and see the animals in their natural habitat. I want to, like, take my daughter is so curious. I want to take her everywhere. I want to travel with her.
So traveling seems like one of the main things that you want to do.
And I want to buy a lot of real estate.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to buy a lot of real estate. For one, we're in a housing crisis right now. I don't know if you're aware, but we're in a very big housing crisis.
Talk to me a little bit about that. For those that are not too privy to what's going on, what kind of crisis are we in?
Well, especially within the GTA, it's almost...
GTA, Greater Toronto Area, Ontario?
Yeah, it's almost like... It's really, really hard to find affordable housing. Okay,
so for those who don't know, you live in Ontario now. You're no longer in Quebec.
I'm in Ontario.
You're a sellout. You're a trader.
Whatever.
You left us.
I went back to my place. You know, Quebec, y'all. You know, Montreal will forever hold a special place in my heart, because Montreal did me real good. Like, I built myself here in different ways than I built myself in the GTA.
In many ways, and I'm a witness to that.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing to witness, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But when I went back to Toronto, like, it was really hard to get a place. Like, it's really hard.
Yeah.
Like, it's
and
really
the rents
hard.
Are through the roof.
Minimum 2K.
Minimum. For something like a room, I'm hearing, could even be like a K.
Listen.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. And then they want your whole life. They want your whole life. They want first and last, obviously. That's an Ontario
first
thing.
And last. Yes,
they want to know. They want your credit report. They want your job details. They want your ID. They want your whole life. Like.
Wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's a mission. I have a...
How are people surviving out there? One thing I do notice is that a lot of people live together.
Yeah, brown people take up a lot of space in the GTA, and, like, kudos to them because they all ram their houses. Like, there's probably, like, 6 of them in there, like, in one...
At least!
Small, yeah, but, like, shout out to them, though, because they're the ones who are buying the houses, you know, doing...
Buying businesses and, buying every Popeyes they're owning out there. Is like, they're going crazy every pizza store.
Imagine if we worked like that.
Yeah,
you know?
We'd go up, It's like black people, we don't even want to live with each other, like, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so back to you were saying, so the GTA, so you're saying there's a...
Housing crisis.
Housing crisis.
There's a housing crisis.
Yeah.
But in addition to that, like, real estate is the key to wealth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Real estate?
Real estate.
Is the key to wealth.
Is the key to wealth.
Break that down for us.
Okay, woof. So I've been really, like, I wouldn't say diving deep, but, like, getting familiar with some real estate terms and, you know, just, like, some knowledge about real estate. But, for example, like, you buy property, okay? So say you buy property for whatever price. You buy that property, you renovate that property, and obviously as a first-time home buyer, you only have to put 5% down. You could put 20, which is obviously the better option. But whatever, you put the money down, you buy this place, you renovate the place, you rent out the place, okay? You refinance the place, okay? It's called BRRRR. B-R-R-R.
Okay.
BRRRR.
Okay.
Buy. Let me not mess it up.
Yeah.
Buy. Okay. Renovate.
Okay.
Refinance.
Okay.
Rent. No, I messed it up.
3 R's?
No, wait. It's buy. It's buy.
Yeah.
Renovate.
Okay.
Refinance. Repeat.
Okay.
Okay? So when you renovate a property, you refinance the property after, you take the profit, okay, and you invest it in another property. You do the same thing. Now, someone's living in there, paying your rent, paying your mortgage, paying their rent, paying your mortgage, and it's an appreciating asset. So...
But, like...
What can you do with that?
No. Isn't there, like, so many people that are able, because richer get richer, poor get poor, right? So, for the rich people who have money, aren't they all bombarding the real estate field and all doing this?
I would say there's always something for somebody. Like, there's always...
Never ends.
Maybe you go somewhere else. Maybe you...
Like, it's not saturated with...
No, it's real estate. Like, people always have to have a place to live. They're always building they have pre-construction. You can go anywhere in the world and buy real estate. It doesn't have to be here. It doesn't have to... It could be anywhere. But real estate is the key to wealth. Yeah, and that's why, like, my ultimate goal right now is to buy property.
Okay, what steps are you making towards that?
The first thing you should do is work on your credit. Yeah, which is what I'm doing because being an entrepreneur, you know what I'm saying? For the past 3 years before I moved to Toronto, it has its ups and downs and like, yeah, you know, peaks and valleys.
For sure.
And I also acquired another child. So there's that.
But wait, this is kind of like a Virgin Mary experience because I didn't see the pregnancy, I didn't see the belly, and poof. I have a big daughter too. Not just a baby, I have a big daughter. So how did this happen?
Okay, so let's back it up a little bit because lots has happened since I've been on this podcast the last time. I've since moved back to the GTA. That's a pretty deep story.
But before you even moved back, you were here a year after the podcast we did. Still.
Yeah.
You were here for like a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then just recently moved back, okay?
Yeah. Yeah, I moved back. You know what's crazy? I moved back in May, the end of May.
Already?
June.
Okay.
Yeah, I moved to Toronto in June.
Wow, that's quick.
I laid low for a bit though.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one like, you know, I was kind of like getting myself situated.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Where was I?
Okay, so you're telling the whole story and how you got the new 11-year-old.
Right. Right. So, it's actually Shia's older sister. They obviously have different moms. Same dad. She was staying with, his side of the family. Things were not going so well, but for a long duration of time, there was nothing I could do about that. Like, I'm here. And she's there, and I'm, I don't have the means to help in the way that I would have liked to. When I moved to Toronto, by the way, I just packed up my car. I packed up my car. I packed up my daughter. Impulsiveness. And I was like, we're moving to Toronto. Yeah. Literally. So I did that. And it took me approximately 45 days to get back on my feet in terms of like securing a place, securing daycare, and all that stuff. And then as soon as I was able to secure my place,
so in that meantime, where were you? You were just living in your car?
So I actually, okay, this is so crazy. I have to tell a little backstory. Okay, so I watched a show called Maid. Okay. The relevancy of me watching this show is, first of all, I'm not a person who watches TV. The relevancy of me watching the show is that the show is about a woman who is in an abusive relationship, and he's not physically abusive, but he's verbally abusive, and they have a daughter. She tries to leave him a couple times, doesn't work, Anyways, at the end of the story, she ends up getting away. She starts this cleaning business, and she like goes through hell, but she makes it out. And she like went to the welfare offices, and she stayed in the domestic the domestic abuse homes and stuff like that. And like she really just did whatever she had to do to get herself out of that situation. And I saw so much strength in that. And I cried.
This is before you left?
Before I moved. Okay. Yeah, it played a huge role in me making that move, because I've always been so prideful, like, nah, I'm not gonna do that, or like, nah, I can't go talk to them, like, welfare me? Nah, I can't do that, like, nah. It was just not me, sure. Especially as someone who's like on go and like working and doing stuff all the time. That was not me. But I really felt myself hitting a roadblock while I was out here in Montreal, and I just wanted more. And I felt like in order for me to have more and get where I want to go, I need to be there. But I don't have anywhere to go there. And I don't have any support there. But what can I do? I started to look into it. Like, what are my options? Like, what could I do? I used to work for the shelter system, actually. Toronto shelter system. Yeah. Okay. But I was like, I can't go there with my kid. Like, it's dirty and it's like, ew, like, no. So I'm like, let me look in Peel. Because Peel's a little cleaner, Mississauga, like, like, let me check it out. And I knew that they were running like those hotel programs as well. So I'm like, you know what? Like, if I could get into one of these hotel ones, because I wasn't trying to settle for like, I don't want to be in like, with my daughter. Like, so I'm like, if I can get into one of these hotel program things, probably they can help me to find housing. I just need the opportunity. That's all I need, And so I was like, all right. Like, I seen Peel had a family shelter, and it was at a motel or something like that. I went on the website, I read all the stuff, I was like, okay, what can I do? It said, they said, you can't turn anybody away. I said, say less. Say less. Wow. So I had actually went to Toronto that weekend for Shia's sister's birthday weekend, actually. And so I was like, you know what? That's the weekend I'm going to do it. I just did it. So I packed out my daughter. I think I had like $200 in my bank account, literally, and a full tank of gas. Wow. Yeah.
$1 in a dream. Yeah,
literally. And I was like, well, girl, like, we going. Like, let's go. Yeah. My dad's like, call me if you need me. I'm like, I'm good. I got this. Like, and so
he didn't try to stop you. Not that he could, knowing you, but he didn't try to stop you.
No, I feel like he believes in me. Like, when I do things, like, he's like, Ain't nobody gonna stop her.
Yeah, you are believable.
Yeah, like ain't nobody gonna stop this girl. So yeah, I got in my car, drove straight to the shelter. I got there at like 10 p.m. Daughter in arm. I was like, hi. And they're like, hey. And I was like, I need a place to stay. And they were trying to tell me no at first because they're like, you're from out of province. Like, what are you doing here? And I was like, well, I read on the website that you guys can't turn me away. Do you guys have space or not? Like, you know, they gave me a really hard time. They almost didn't want to let me stay. And I stood my ground. I was like, listen, like, I've been there for a while. There's a reason why I went there. Now I'm back here because I'm trying to, like, get myself back on my feet, and like, you know, like, I can work here, I can't work there. You know what I'm saying? My options are limited there. Now I'm here with my daughter. As you can see, like, I just need the opportunity. And then they, like, eventually they're like, all right, come upstairs. I'm like, oh, yes, boom. It wasn't quite what I had expected. Like, it was a hotel room, motel room, and it was clean and nice.
Clean is
not nice, but it was very clean and like had my own space,
that's
own
amazing.
washroom.
That's amazing.
Me and my daughter in this room for like however long. They told me I had 45 days to get a job, get a place, and they told me that they don't offer support in helping me to find a place, which is one of the primary reasons why I went there.
Wait, you said there was food?
There was food. It was trash. I honestly couldn't eat it. Yeah, my Shia didn't want to eat it either. It was really gross. So that was another difficult part because there's no kitchen. So it's like you have to eat their food or go out and buy food.
Because you can't cook.
I'd be calling my grandma sometimes, like, what are you guys cooking for dinner?
Oh, your grandma lives out there, right?
Yeah. Okay. My grandfather would, like, pack me some snacks and stuff sometimes. Anyways, 45 days. And I went and, like, I wrote all over my mirrors, like, okay, what are the steps I need to do? I need to get a place. In order
and the fact that there's a timeline, like, that
crunch
keeps
time.
you on.
You know what else really, really helped me is, like, shout out to this individual, but they really helped me through this time as well by, you know, encouraging me to read my Bible. And we had, like, Bible plans, and we would, like, do them every morning. Like, every morning, as soon as I open my eyes, I'm in my phone, doing my guided prayer and reading my Bible plan, and, like, just
that's
really,
power
like,
right there, man. That's power. I'm telling you, man. That there's transformation in that.
No, for real. Like, it was very intense, and it really helped me through that time. And setting those dates to those things that I needed to get done, like, okay, I need to be out of here by this day. So, like, there's no other options, you know? I had to pay for daycare out of my pocket, because you can't get subsidized daycare unless you have a job. The system is flawed as fuck, okay? You can't get subsidized daycare unless you can prove that you're working full time. Obviously, I can't go to job interviews or I can't do any of these things if I have my daughter. So I had to pay for her daycare. First of all, I'm, like, anti 9 to 5. But I had to get a 9 to 5 to get the place.
I remember you preaching this no 9 to 5.
Anti-9 to 5.
Last interview, like, forget it. Matter of fact, you were telling people to quit their jobs.
Fuck your jobs! Like, I'm just like, nah, like, I would say fuck all 9 to 5s. If you love what you do, shout out to you. But if you're working a 9 to 5 to pay the bills, get out fast and find another way, right? And I still stand on that. And anyways, I had to get a 9 to 5. So I'm, like, applying for all these jobs and shit, but I have a pretty good, like, resume and stuff like that, so whatever. And it's so crazy. I'm like, okay, June 15th. No, my accountability partner, like, they were like, okay, by June 15th, you need to be here. And I was like, fuck, like, that's, like, really soon. But I'm like, no, I can do it. Boom, June 15th. You know what's so crazy is I did a prayer, and then I was like, okay, God, like, I need a place. Like, I need a place. Like, I actually need a place. Like, this is insane right now. It's so hard to find a place. Literally, I wrote down every single co-op, every single, what's it called? Like, subsidized rent geared to income. Everybody. I emailed everybody. I called everybody. I said, if you can't help me, send me the number that can. If you can't help me, tell me somebody else who can. And eventually I spoke to this lady and she was like, oh, check on this website. They sometimes have like, it's regular market rate, but like you can probably find something like a little bit lower, but you gotta keep checking all the time because it goes so fast.
You're in Canada, you're a mother, so I know Canada is very big on helping single moms, no?
There is a crisis. Everybody is looking for housing. They can't help everybody. They don't have enough resources to help everybody in the sense where like they can't just like provide the housing for me. You know, like there's a bunch of moms out here too that are looking for housing. Why am I? Yeah. So and it's not like I'm like I'm not fleeing an abusive relationship or something like that. Those are priorities. Yeah. So so yeah, I was like, okay, boom. But I said that prayer. I went on this. I took that call. I went on the website. As soon as I went on the website, I seen like a place for like I think it's at 1850 or 1950. I'm like, oh shoot, like message her right now. Within like 2 minutes, she called me. Hello? I'm like, hello? Like she's like, yeah, you just applied for this place. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. But she sounded so cool. And you know when you just have a vibe, I'm like, no, she sounds super cool. Like I'm like, can I come to the place? She's like, yeah, come. Boom. I went there as an African lady, and I was like, we just vibed. Like I was like, damn. I'm like, you believe in God? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, this is God's work right now. Like this is God's work. I didn't even have the place yet, but I'm like, this is God's work right now. Like I just
talking by faith.
Yeah, I'm like, I just know this is the place.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I'm like, I just know.
You believe it.
Yeah, and I didn't even have the job. I didn't even know. I just told her like, I have first and last.
You just said it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because this is the thing about leveraging the system, right? Because maybe they're not able to provide me housing, but you guys are going to be able to provide me the funds that I need to get what I need. Yeah, and they did. They say, oh, we can only help with first month or last month or whatever. I never been like this is my first experience on like welfare or like the health, the what do you call it? Yeah, like the system. I was like super ashamed. Like I was like, no, I don't want to I don't want to do that. But I did it.
You did it.
I did it. And I knew that like they could help me. And so I was like, told the lady, I'm like, yeah, I have first and last month's rent. She was like, okay, no problem. Then like I was talking with the daughter, and she was like, you just gotta show me like that you got a job. And I was like, okay, no worries, yeah. I'm like, where's the job? Okay, and I did an interview, but I was waiting to hear back. I didn't hear back yet. Boom, June 15th, I got the place and the job.
She didn't ask you what your job is?
I told her I applied for a job, and I did the interview, but I had to do a police check, and the police check takes a certain amount of time.
Waiting, so,
yeah, I'm waiting, which I am, because basically they offered me the job, but I have to do a police check, so it takes time and stuff. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like I don't know how much time.
Police check is for an apartment?
No, that's for the job.
Okay, for the job. Okay,
yeah, because it was for the YMCA.
Okay.
Which is also a blessing because YMCA has one of the top tier daycares like out there, and as an employee you get priority to get into the daycare, and it's a freaking mission to get into daycare as well. So anyways,
that's another headache.
Yeah, and so boom, like I got the job. So as soon as I got like the approval thing, I was like, I got it, like boom, and she was like, all right, like you just first and last, and I'm like, I was like, listen, I'm gonna be so real with you right now. I'm staying at a shelter. I don't have the job. The job is I'm about to get the job, and Ontario Works is gonna be writing the check for the rent. Like, I don't even have it.
You just told her straight.
I just told her.
And what was her reaction?
She was like, I know you need a break. And she's like, I'm gonna work with you.
Wow.
Yeah.
God's with you.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. She's like, literally, there's so many people wanting to see the place. So many people.
Wow.
The mom said no, just me. She only wanted me.
God's with you. God's good.
Yeah.
God's
It's crazy.
good. This is a testimony right here.
Yeah.
You're preaching.
Literally. And as I got the keys to my place.
How did you feel like going in there, like after all of that grind?
Oh man.
How did you feel?
I felt accomplished in a way. I was
Impossible is nothing at that point.
Well, I already feel like that kind of all the time.
Regardless.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I just felt like.
But this is actual, like, you know, it manifesting. You know what I'm trying to say? It's easy to say it, but to live it is another thing. Like, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. You know what? Toronto was on my vision board last year. It was on my yeah, it was on my vision board. I wanted to move back to Toronto. It was on my vision board. I had no idea. I had no clue how I was gonna do that.
Okay, so
it happened.
So let's speed up now. So
oh yeah, so like literally, I haven't even been at my place for like 2 weeks.
Okay.
Okay. All I did was paint. I don't even have a couch yet. We're still sleeping on air mattresses. No, that's not true. We're sleeping on mattresses. Hold on.
How did you get the mattresses?
Hold on. We're sleeping on mattresses, but we have one bed. I'm thinking, like, what happened? We have one bed. Okay. One bed frame is set up.
That was given to you?
No, I bought it.
Okay.
Yeah, because another thing, leverage the system. When you move into a place, they give you funds to get what you need. It's not a lot, but you make it work. And, like, I'm not saying, like, everybody go on OW and, like, yeah, but leverage the system.
So for somebody that's like looking at you and be like, yo, I'm going through the same thing she's going through.
Leverage
What's your advice for them?
Put your fucking pride aside and leverage the system. Put your pride aside and leverage the system.
Put your pride to the
I will
side.
never say like, yo, get on welfare and stay on it. Like, it's lit over here. Like, nah. No, I'm not saying that because it's not enough. But if you're somebody who wants to like go through a change, or maybe you're in a situation that you need to get out of, leverage.
I think that's the thing. Like, a lot of people are in an uncomfortable situation or somewhere they don't want to be,
but we're prideful.
They feel stuck and prideful. Like,
that was me.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, like, I'm not gonna do that. Like, nah, I can't do that. I even tried to do it a while ago, and I was like, I just can't do it. Like, I just can't even sign the paper. Like, I just can't. It's just not me. But, like, it's not just me I have to think about now. And I just know that I needed to get myself to a certain place so that I'd be good, right? So anyways, boom. I got one bed, okay? I have a mattress for Shimeah, but she's sleeping in my bed right now, okay? Because I think something like her bed frame didn't come yet or something like that. And then I get a call, like, you know, such and such is happening, and, like, can you take her? The daughter now. The Shimeah's older sister.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, back to her now. Okay.
Yeah.
So a situation happened, and now they're asking you who's asking you if you could take her?
There's a bunch of people involved. Obviously, like, you know, the system and like the family and everything.
And
like
why
that.
you? Why are they asking you if you could take her?
Because I'm willing and I'm able.
Okay, and they know that. They just.
I guess.
Seen where you're coming from nothing to the shelter to get your own place. Okay, they don't see the stages. Okay, they just know you as who you are, and you
I'm
go
good.
get her.
I'm always good.
And they're like, let's action me. So
yeah.
So they were in a desperate position.
Yeah. I don't want to say too much. It's not really my business to share.
Yeah.
But like, it just wasn't right.
Okay.
Like, things were just not right there.
Okay.
And I was like, that's just not right. You know? And if I'm able to do something to help that situation, then I'm gonna do that.
You must have a good heart though, because especially again with the predicament what you've experienced, what you're coming from, for you to just have that heart to be like, I'm gonna help this little
Somebody
girl.
did it for me.
Somebody did that for
Somebody
you.
did it for me.
Like,
and if
like you mean in your past?
Yeah, like
okay.
My mom adopted me, and she took me. She didn't have to.
You're adopted.
Yeah, on my mom's side, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and like when I was 2, and so if she didn't do that for me, I wonder how different my life would look. You know, my life probably would have been a lot different. Like,
so that's part of the reasoning.
Yeah.
Like you have to return the favor.
Especially because I was so deep into reading my Bible and stuff. I was like, I'm being called to do this.
That's the godly thing to do.
I was like, I'm being called to do this. Like, this is I'm being called. Like, it's not that I knew it was gonna happen, but it was like, I know I'm willing and I'm able.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm able. I'm like, I have a place now. Yeah, that's good. That's pretty much all I need.
it wasn't scary to think about the time consumption this would be in adding another child in your life. And another mouth to feed.
No, because here's the thing. Again, it's very hard in Canada, especially for someone like me, to just end up having nothing. In the sense where, like, we don't have food to eat, or like we can't get from point A to point B. It's very hard, especially when you're able to leverage the resources. And as somebody who works in the community, like, and I had to go through my own shit to find certain resources. There's a bunch of resources out there. So if you need something, chances are there's some kind of organization or some kind of something that can help you. And I made sure that, like, I use those resources. So I just felt like it was something I was being called to do because there was nobody, for one, there was nobody else in a position to do what I could do. And
time out. Sorry, do you mind if we touch a little bit on you being adopted, or is that too personal?
Not much to it.
No.
Like...
So like, you don't know your original mother?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember? As long as you know the person who adopted you, is that your mother for all you know, or do you remember just not having anybody, then somebody taking you in? That whole experience.
I just know what I was told.
Okay.
Yeah. And to my understanding, around the age of 2, there was some occurrences, I would say, that happened with my biological mother that made her no longer fit to play that mother role.
Okay.
And then I was with my dad.
Okay.
And then my dad ended up in a relationship with a woman who is very powerful and strong-minded. And like me, was like, and she came from a place where it wasn't always peaches and cream, but like there was resources and stuff, like, you know. And she kind of took it upon herself to take me in. And she was like, nah, you're not dressing like that. Nah, you're not wearing that. Nope, you're not doing that. You're not staying there. You're not doing, like, you know.
Just strict.
Yeah, strict, but also, like, she made sure I was in nice shit, like, always looking good, hair done, everything.
So she was a good stepmom.
Yeah.
But you're lucky, because usually they're known as the evil stepmom.
No,
so
she bust
you
my
got
ass.
a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, she definitely bust my ass. But, build character. Like, honestly, like, she was very hard on me. But, yeah, I feel like it made me who I am today.
You are today.
Yeah.
So you still don't know your biological mother till today?
No.
Okay.
I Googled her, like, maybe, 2 years ago, I think?
How do you feel, because I'm glad we're even talking this, because me, I know somebody else who's adopted, you know? And, so just to get us inside their mind a little bit, like, they know they're adopted, but, you know, they have a loving family, whatever. But, like, is there always, like, a hole inside of you, or do you always feel like you're missing something, or, like, you know, maybe a certain love or to belong to somebody? Like, is there a void inside you that's searching to be filled?
I would say, I don't know if it's a void, but I would say there's a disconnect. Yeah. I would say there's a disconnect.
From what?
From, like, for example, like, even though she dealt with me like family, and her family dealt with me like family.
Okay, a disconnect to the person who raised you.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, although it's like always love, it's like, I know.
Deep down, you know that's not your real mother.
Yes, yeah, but it's not even that. It's like, it's like, I feel like I'm like her in some ways because I've obviously, like, adopted some of her ways and characteristics, but it's like, I'm just different. Like, I'm just different. Like, I'm just different from everyone. You know? It's not like I'm like, oh, I'm like, I don't know. And, like, you know how, like, how I am with my daughter is not how it was for me. So, like, me, I be hugging up and kissing my daughter every 2 seconds. Like, yeah, it wasn't like
you
that
never got
for
that,
me.
that love. Yeah,
and so I feel like it kind of made me a little bit, like, rougher, I would say.
Are you in search for that love, or you?
I feel like I'm good.
You suppress
I feel like I give it to myself. I feel like I love myself a lot, a lot, and I would even love myself some more.
Do you search for that love in a man?
feel like I look for, like, I feel like it's different because we're talking about like mother's love and like.
But it is different. But like for example, what I feel like women search for a father's love in a man.
Yes.
Even though it's different love, so like there's still like that's what I'm saying. Like there's still like something to replace it, even though it's one's parents and one's relationship, but it's still love at the end of the day.
Yeah. No. What? Well, I guess what I meant by that was like.
And affection, like what you're talking about.
Yeah, I like a little bit, but I don't like too much.
You don't like too much.
Like I have moments, like it's weird. Like sometimes I'm like, and then sometimes I'm like, stop touching me. Like, you know, it depends on how I feel. Like I don't know. I would say if anything, it made me a little bit insensitive to certain things. I think if anything, if I could maybe. I think it
so you couldn't deal with a guy that's over affectionate and over.
I wouldn't like that.
You wouldn't like that.
No, like affectionate is good, but like too much is like too much. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay, we're gonna come back to relationship stuff after. So let's do a full circle. So back to now your young girl. So now you're like you've been there, so there's no way. You have the heart to not be there for her now, right?
Yeah.
You see yourself in her?
No.
In that sense? No? Okay.
No.
Okay.
She's older, right? She's 11, so like I don't really see myself in her. I see, to be honest, to go back to the question that you asked before, like did I consider like the time factor? Nah, I didn't. I didn't.
Okay,
and
just
like
did it.
I just did it. And like now I'm dealing with that in terms of like I have to do a lot of things to make sure that like she's good. So there's like extra things that I have to do for her. I have to have meetings with her school. I have to have meetings over here with these people. I have to go have meetings here, over there. Like I never enrolled the kid in school before. I had to figure that out.
What about this? What about, and I'm sure all child display this at some point, like unintentionally because they don't have the mind to understand, but like ungratefulness in the terms where like maybe with attitude or just.
How about I tell you my rent money went missing? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
How do you handle that and still love? Even though it's not your child.
It was a lot. Yeah, I wanted to bust her ass. Yeah, I really did. Honest to God, I really did. And yeah, so
that's big, man. I congratulate you. Though.
Yeah,
that's hard.
That was really shocking for me because I felt like that's crazy.
For sure.
After everything.
For sure. After all I'm doing for you, you know.
You know.
But as I said, you gotta remind yourself that their brain's not even fully developed. You know what I'm trying to say? Even though they know right from wrong, they don't have that understanding level that you do. You know what I'm saying? It
still hurt me. Not in the sense where like, oh my gosh, my money's gone. In the sense where like, that's the money that's supposed to pay for us to live here. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, already I'm having to feed you, and like, it's a very big difference going from Shy and I to Shy, I, and the other one, because the other one eats a lot. Like, yo, like, I'm gonna be real, like, I gotta hit the grocery store every week. At least 2-3 bills. Every week.
Man.
Can you imagine?
Man, I can't imagine.
Like, it's wild. But
I respect it.
So
I respect it.
Yeah, so it hurt me. I was like, damn, like, and then the lying that was associated with it made me lose trust.
I think and I respect it so much more because I think that's what's missing in this world today, where like people are so focused on me and what I need and what's, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Nobody has the time to care about how a next person is doing or yo, did you eat tonight, or how you managing? Like, people don't have the time to care about others because they're so focused on them, and but it might not even be intentional. Maybe life is hard where you gotta focus on you, but still, like, I feel like that's lacking in society where, like, caring about your neighbors, or,
I feel like yes and no. I feel like yes because, like, I mean, like, it's not always easy to put somebody else before you, but I also think that,
or not just before, but with you. Like, why break this bread in 5 when I'm gonna have this in 2.
Mm-hmm.
And have more and fill my stomach more.
Yeah, no, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Yeah, no, it's true, and yeah.
Yeah.
I was just like, I don't know. I kind of
okay. But you did it. So the point is, you did it. So you have her,
mm-hmm.
and
But in that moment, I'm gonna tell you. In that moment, I was like, I don't know if I can do this shit. I don't know if I can do this. Yeah, I was like, I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah.
I do not know if I can do this.
Yeah.
And it was like the deceitfulness behind it, you know? And it's like, I had to like really be like, okay, she's a kid. She's a kid. A kid with trauma as well. Yeah. And so like, I have to be mindful of that. And then at the back of my mind, I'm like, Shimeah, this is what you signed up for. This is what you signed up for. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like being like.
So as a mother, how do you do with discipline?
Well.
So she stole your stuff. How do you discipline? And even with your personal daughter, do you slap? Do you hit?
Okay. So for my daughter, well, in general, like I try not to hit. For the older one, no, for sure, no. And
why? Because it's not your daughter, technically?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just feel like it's
wrong.
Different. Like it's just different.
You don't feel like you have that right?
No, and there's like other people involved, and I don't want nobody on my case.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then my daughter, like, she may catch a 1-2, you know.
Slap.
But like, my daughter's she is something else. Like she's something else. The thing that I find works the best is loss of privilege and just loss of whatever it is that's exciting. You're not gonna have it.
I don't know. It's crazy because I was even talking to KK about this the other day. Like, for me, loss of privilege wasn't that much of a big blow as a child.
My daughter does not care.
Exactly.
She don't give a shit.
So you know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm gonna take your dollhouse. She's like, okay.
Exactly. Like, so what's a further discipline method that you can use if you're trying that it's not working? What do you do?
To be honest, like it's so tricky. Honestly, discipline is tricky for me, especially being one person, because I have to be the one to discipline, but I also have to be the one to break it down and console. So for example, like I have different, like for each of them it's different. So like when she came to stay with me, she had cell phone. She, you know, had a little bit of freedom. Alexa in the room. Alexa's gone out of the room, and there's no more cell phone. Indefinitely. Like indefinitely.
Oh,
you want to call your friend, you can use my phone.
Okay.
Yeah, because I felt like, okay, you know, I think I gave too much. I gave too much, and it still wasn't appreciated. For sure. Therefore, you don't need that. Yeah. You don't need that. So now.
So having a child earn things as opposed to just giving to them is important.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy is like literally like when I found out that she was taking my money, I literally had just had a conversation with her, and I was like, you know, like you started to get allowance now. You know, you clean, you do your this that. I'm gonna give you allowance. Then I found that out. I was like, you don't get shit from me now, like you know. So it really took me back, but also like gave me a lot of like patience. Like I really had to like really sit with it for a while and like explain to her, like, and I yell because I was so mad. Like I yelled, like, and I try not to because I don't like.
Did she admit it?
Eventually. It's kind of hard to not when like I'm finding the money. I had to pop up at the school like fucking like 007. Yeah. And that same week actually, she asked me for permission to go out for lunch at school. I had to sign a paper. I was like, at first I wasn't really down, but then she's like, oh, my friends are going and this. I'm like, all right, whatever, like just go. What? That got revoked immediately. So she can't leave the school now. She can't, no cell phone, like she lost everything, you know? Then I had made her just like extra schoolwork, for sure. All that extra stuff.
And that's the discipline method.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's working so far?
Well, money hasn't been missing since then. But really breaking it down, I feel like was like very important. Like
Like explaining to her why this is wrong.
Yeah.
And why you shouldn't do this.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was like a huge
communication is key, even in discipline.
Yeah.
Okay.
And with my daughter, I do like the same thing. Like, for example, like sometimes like she'll just be messing around, and it's like I'll be like, Shimeah, like enough.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes my big girl voice isn't big enough,
Mm-hmm.
so then I have to get real loud. And when I get real loud, all antics stop.
Okay.
You know, and then I like to have a conversation about it after.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's me like trying to be like in this soft era, like this gentle parenting thing, but then still gotta rough you up sometimes because like, yeah, like you need to get it, but at the same time it's like, I know what that did for me. And like, although it worked, you know, like mom bust my ass, like yeah, it worked.
Yeah, definitely.
But I didn't tell her nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Like
see for us, I feel like it was the opposite. I mean, well, a lot of my peers, like we got a lot of the licks and the discipline in terms of that, but we didn't get a lot of the communication.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm like, yo, don't do that, box in your head, but she's not gonna explain to me why I shouldn't do it. It's just, yo, I said don't do it, so don't do it. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Whereas in nowadays, I feel like, okay, kids are getting the communication, but they're not getting a lot of discipline in other senses.
It's tricky.
You know?
It's honestly tricky, I would say, especially as like a single parent, because like you're everything, right?
Yeah.
I gotta be, you know, like at least in a dual parent household, it's like
there's a balance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good cop, bad cop.
Yeah. I gotta be good and bad.
Yeah.
Bad and good. Yell at you and then hug you after.
No,
like, you know?
for sure,
it's tricky.
Okay.
But and my daughter gets it. Like sometimes like she just gets it too. She'll be like, oh well, like mommy said I can't do that because like she just knows now, like
for
you know?
For sure.
Yeah.
So I mean, yo, man, we've talked about so much. It was a lot, you know what I'm saying? I love it. Relationship.
I didn't put enough in my business already.
Nah, B, we gotta get close. You know, set the mood. The lights are nice, right? So, what's your relationship status right now? Like,
I am off the market. Okay,
wow,
I'm gonna leave it at that.
You're off the market. Cause I think last interview we did, you were available. You were on the market, right?
No.
You weren't on the market?
I'm never on the market.
Damn. You don't
Ever.
Why?
Even when I am, I'm not.
I just hot commodity, or is there a lineup? So it's like as soon as you're off, just
no. I just
next.
I just feel like no.
No.
Yeah, I always feel like that.
You don't like being single?
Oh, I do. I love.
So why are you never available?
Because even if I'm single, I say I'm not single.
Oh.
Yeah.
So right now, are you saying you're not single, or are you like, what's going on? Are you in a relationship?
Media trained.
Media trained. I get that. What's your love life like? Like the fans want to know.
The fans want to know.
Yeah.
See, like, this is where like maybe you're not gonna get that much out of me though. No. I feel like it's not me for everybody. Okay. You know, it's me for me. You know.
I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you. What's your views on relationship?
My views on relationships. Just love yourself first.
Love yourself first. You have to love yourself before you can love somebody else.
You gotta love yourself a lot. Like, do stuff for you.
Facts.
Like, go on dates with yourself. Like, buy yourself nice stuff. Like, have date nights with yourself. Yeah. Before
a relationship.
Oh, yeah.
You see yourself getting married in the next few years?
In the next few years? I would hope so.
Is marriage still like a
marriage?
I mean,
definitely.
You're so independent. You're so I can do everything by myself. I go on my own dates. Blah blah blah. Like, do you even care to get married?
I seen this meme yesterday. It was like, I want to be in my soft girl era. I've been big dog long enough, and I read that, and I was like, yeah, but I'm still big dog, you know. But I want to be in my soft girl era too. But I'm still a big dog.
So you can't be a soft.
So
big
just
dog?
finding that balance, yeah. But I gotta, like, I need to still be able to just be me, you know. And I feel like that's one thing that I've.
So do you feel like in when you when you're to get in like in a serious relationship with a guy, like you feel you gotta tone you down a little bit?
No.
Okay.
And that's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
I feel like I don't want to tone myself down. I want to be me. I want to do me.
But that's what I'm saying. For you to say that, it must be because you feel like through experience that you've had to
I think
tone
I'm
down.
intimidating. And I think that sometimes people love the idea of me, but when I get like really into like my zone when it comes to like my career and my work shit, like don't talk to me. Yeah.
That comes first.
And I feel like it's not that it comes first. There just needs to be a level of understanding that like not that this comes first, but that this is who I am.
It's an important part of me.
It's an important part of me. Yeah. And like for always, as long as I can always remember, like I always pour into my career or what it is that I'm doing professionally, because that's kind of like my outlet for things. And that's like, not to say it's a priority above all other things, but I know that I'm built different. And because I know that I'm built different, you gotta just let me do what I'm doing. You gotta let me do me. You gotta let me do me in the sense where like, if I need to go to this event or if I need to go here, if I need to meet with this person and do this, and I don't want to hear it about like, oh, well, like, you know, like.
So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I'm not speaking about anything in particular.
It doesn't matter if your significant other is comfortable with with whatever it is you got going on or not. If you feel like you have to do it, you have to. That's what you're saying, regardless.
Yes.
Or so see, but then that's not good. Like, because at the end of the day in a relationship, you gotta compromise. So not that he's telling you shouldn't do it, but you guys should come to an agreement as to like. With things you do, that's a relationship. It's two minds, two people compromising, not just what you want.
I have a hard time with that.
Then you're gonna have a hard time with marriage.
I have a hard time with that in a sense where like, no, I don't have a hard time compromising. I don't have a hard time compromising, but I do have a hard time like I feel like in some relationships it's like, okay, when you start to date or you guys get together or whatever, it's like, all right, I'm all about you and you're all about me, and like I don't want you talking to girls and I don't want you talking to guys. Like I will never be like, I don't want you talking to girls, especially if I know that like part of your business is it requires you.
I think that's immature.
Yeah, it's super immature.
Period. The world doesn't just have boys; it doesn't have guys.
100%.
You need to talk to guys and girls. That's out the window for sure. Yeah.
And I think that
that's insecurity.
But that insecurity could carry over a lot, if that makes sense. And if there's not that trust factor, then chances are you may not be comfortable with some of the things that I'm doing.
So I think that's just something that like a red flag you can look out for early before it gets too serious. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I guess.
Because there are guys that won't give you a hard time about talking to other guys. Not every guy is, you know what I mean, jealous and controlling in that sense.
Yeah, but it doesn't even mean like, it's not even to say like jealous or controlling.
That is jealous.
Like,
the fact, if I don't want you talking to other guys, that's jealousy. There's no other way around it. I'm jealous, I'm controlling, and I'm insecure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel like though, like, it doesn't even just have to be like with men either. Like I feel like just in general, like I think I'm like a bit of a workaholic. Yeah. I think that it's something I'm working on. Like, so to like be more present and not always be like fixated on the hustle and like the grind and stuff like that.
So you feel like you would prioritize the grind or hustle over your man?
I feel like it depends because like, okay, let me just give a example, right? So, and it's not I'm just like hypothetical.
For sure, we're just talking.
So like, say for example, I'm doing my thing, business is booming, I'm da-da-da-da-da, shit's going super good. Then I get into a relationship. And like, obviously like this person wants to spend time with me and like do stuff together and like, you know, do all these things, and like, I'm okay with that to a certain degree. But then I also have kids, and then the hustle, and like sometimes like balancing it may not always be the easiest. Okay, you know what? I think it comes down to like sacrificing for the right person is more, I guess what it comes down to. Because like if I'm dating somebody and like I'm like, yes, like this is the person I want to marry, like yeah, like this is it, like they're putting in their work, I'm putting in my work, but like you shouldn't have the time to want to hang out with me all the time, if that makes sense.
Okay.
From me, because
you want them to be as driven as you are.
Yes, and I feel like that is very important to me, like ambition and like.
What if they are very ambitious, but they prioritize you, meaning they make their schedule a certain way where every day I have to spend a certain time with
That's
you.
good. I would do that.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I would do that.
Some balance.
Yeah, I would do that.
Okay.
I would do that.
Okay.
I would do that.
Okay.
But like, I want to make sure I get my stuff done, and I would want to make sure that you get your stuff done. Yeah. I don't want like the chill time to
be more than
take
hustle.
over everything else, and then everything else just goes to shit. But at least we have love, right? Love ain't gonna pay the bills.
So I feel like it's just a matter of meeting someone that has the same drive in common as you, like
right?
Someone that has the same ambition, and,
right?
You know, in common, yeah. And then I think that would solve your problem.
Yeah.
You know?
You know what? You know what though? Because I'm in a relationship, right?
Okay.
Yeah, and
I thought you were gonna disclose.
I feel like I have to talk about it right now. I feel like I have to talk about it because I am, and like, I'd be like thinking like, it's me. Is it me? I'm just work too much. I'm always working, but it's like, I have to. Like, there's certain hours of the day where it's like, I have to. Like, I can't kick it. Like, I cannot. Like, I do not have that time to do that. And it's like...
When I see someone in common, what if that person had that same drive you, so you guys are hustling together at the same time while kicking it?
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Like, I fuck with that. Yeah, that's cool. But, like, also, like, sometimes, you know, like, it's required to be present away from work. Often. Times. And like, I'd be like, okay, I'm on the phone right now. Yeah, we're cooling. Yeah, everything's blessed. Whatever. What time is it? 3 o'clock. Okay, shoot. So I gotta pick up Shad for like, no. Like, yeah.
Plus,
I have to get off the phone now. I gotta do my, you know? And like, sometimes it's not always the easy conversation.
For sure.
You know? But I have to go now. You know? Yeah. So. Because I also at the same time, like, I don't want somebody who's working 24/7 too.
No, for sure.
You know?
You take your own medicine.
Yeah, like.
I'm busy.
Nah, like, what do you mean?
That's what she needs. Shimeah, I'm busy. The only thing I'm trying to make this money.
No, but I can respect that though. Yeah. Like, I can. To a certain degree, but I can respect. I can respect that. Yeah. I can't talk right now. I'm doing this. Okay.
Have you met such a guy yet, or you're just like, you're so infatuated with his hustle and his drive and his...
Yeah, and it was too much.
It was too much?
I know.
How? Yeah. Like, how was it too much? Explain this to me, because you're talking like this is what you want.
I know.
And you say you finally see it, now you say this
they
too
say
much.
girls never know what they want.
Okay, so how is this too much? Explain this to me.
Okay, so basically, like, I had somebody, he like dreams about deals in his sleep. Like, yeah, like super, like, eyes open, laptop, like, insane. I was like, wow, like, that's cool. But then, until it wasn't cool, and I was like, hey, hello, like.
Could I get no attention?
Yeah, and like, and obvious, and not just the attention, the on and off. Me, like, now, something that I've adopted is, like, I work from 9 to 5. Even if I'm not working a 9 to 5, my hours of operation for my business are 9 to 5. If it's gonna exceed those hours or be outside of those hours, it's an exception that I had to make. Because after 5, I pick up my kids.
Family time.
And it's family time. And that's it. And that's my schedule.
That's dope.
Yeah. So, any other, like, whatever, and, like, that's one way that I find, like, that could work, if that makes sense. So, like, that's what I...
Did this person that had that drive, did he have...
Business hours? No.
Did he have any kids?
Yes.
So then how was he... How did he not have family time if he had kids? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Building the empire.
He's just more driven on his goals and aspirations.
Because obviously, like, you know, obviously, like, what we do is for our kids, but, like, it's also important to spend time with the kids.
For sure. 100%. 100%.
I can say, though, like, for me, like, when I first got out to Toronto, I was busy. Like, after I found a babysitter, because, like, I had, like, I don't, like, just leave my daughter with anybody, so I had to, like, you know, whatever. I eventually found a babysitter. Because I'm like, I need to be at these events. I need to be doing this. I need to be doing that. I need to be plugging in here. I need to be everywhere. I need to let everyone know I'm back. I need to be everywhere. And so I did that for a little bit, like, where, like, maybe, like, 3-4 evenings, like, I'm outside. Like, I'm at events. I'm doing shit. And I was like, I kind of don't like it, you know? Because now, like, I'm missing stuff. And I don't want to miss stuff. And, like, I already feel like there's not enough time when Shai gets home from school till the time she goes to bed, and I feel like I'm missing her, you know? So I started to implement, like, business hours. Yeah. Don't call me after 5.
So that's something you've learned to develop.
Yes.
So
and I think it's also from observation of that experience of somebody who works all the time. I was like, my business can't run me. I run my business. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Interesting. That was a fun little relationship conversation we had. Okay. Anything else you want to add?
Nope.
We're good. All right, let's talk about. You have an event coming up.
Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit about that.
Okay, so January 28th. Okay, 2024. It's a new season. It's a new year. So, you know, this is something I did last year as well. A vision board. I did it with a group of friends, and this year I want to do it again. So 2024 vision board workshop and talk show event. So the vision board is obviously, like, self-explanatory. We're going to be creating a vision board. I'm very firm on this vision board thing because last year my vision board, like, so many of the things that were on my vision board came true. Like, they actually happened. Like, traveling. Like, I never traveled before. I traveled to, like, New York. I went to Atlanta. I went to Miami. It was lit. Definitely recommend. And yeah, like, moved to Toronto. So, like, things on the vision board were definitely checked off. It's super powerful, and I just feel like it's something that everybody should do if you're serious about goal setting and, you know, bringing your dreams to reality. And then I also incorporated the live talk show because I feel like, you know, it's like dinner and a movie, right? It's like, I'm kind of ADHD like that. Like, I like
always looking at how you can make it better. Remember the water bottles, right?
Exactly. And I'm like, how can I, like, optimize this? Like, while I have these super driven individuals in this room, what else can I offer them of value? And so I'm like, oh, it'd be cool if, like, there was, like, a live conversation happening. And then I was like, conversation. Then I'm like, maybe I'll have, like, a couple different people. And then I instantly thought of, like, who I wanted to speak in terms of, like, who I thought had value in the areas that I wanted to have in that event. For example, you. Yeah, Dawn's gonna be speaking at this event.
Me?
Yeah. Yeah. Especially because, like, we have a lot of good conversations. Especially, like, with the podcast and everything like that. Like, I feel like your podcast has even like grown like from what it was last year, and it was already really good. So like the conversation can only get better. I really love that you're a very big believer of God, and I feel like something you said yesterday where you're like, I just hope that, you know, people could try this because I see what it's done for me. And me, you know, having this faith and belief, what it's done for you. And yeah, I feel like that's powerful because I told you what it did for me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just did.
Yeah, and like it's true, like when you say like when you're in the Bible reading it all the time and like really like
transformation.
It's so different. Like now I'm trying to get back to that place because I'm like, yo, I just remember like my head was so clear, like I don't worry about anything. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why I definitely wanted to have you as a guest speaker. I have Karina from Girls in Power just because you know, she's doing a lot of things in the community as well. I see her, you know, doing some hosting, you know, doing her events and stuff like that, which is super dope. And she also has a pretty big community of women, which I'm tapping more into women right now too, which I feel like I just been like not very gender specific, just kind of like whatever. But I feel like as I get older, I want to tap more in with women specifically.
Young women or just women generally?
Just women in general. Yeah, because I feel like I have a weird relationship with women in the sense where like, I don't know, like I didn't always have a lot of like girlfriends and like stuff like that.
More tomboy.
Yeah, and so yeah, it's something that I'm working on too, to just be around more women and like empowering women. So Karina is definitely gonna be great for that. And then I was like, I want somebody else. And she had actually referred me to this other woman named Lorena. And then I did some research on Lorena, and I was like, oh yeah, like definitely want her there too. So there's gonna be a lot of.
Who's Lorena?
Lorena's in PR. She also has a podcast called Total R&B, and where she interviews R&B artists and industry professionals. She also has another organization called The Crown Project. I know she does like drives and stuff like that. So yeah, I just found her profile very fascinating, and I was like instantly captivated. I was like, yes, her. I need her. Yes. We had a meeting, and I was like, oof, I like her. And then boom, that was that. And so I was like, okay, great. Now we have 3. We have me 4, and we have a talk show. You know, I don't want it to be so much an interview where it's like, so like da 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 da. I'm gonna be asking definitely individual questions, but I want it to be very
involved in everybody.
Yeah, open dialogue. Even if like the audience has a question or like whatever, like I would like for this to be like an open space where we can all have those conversations. There's gonna be a bunch of different topics, but primarily I want the focus to be on like challenges that we've overcome and how we've overcome them, whether that's in personal or professional life. And I also want to talk about like, you know, pivot. I mention this word a lot, like the ability to pivot, because I feel like it's a very important thing to understand and know when to pivot. And
what do you mean by pivot exactly? Elaborate a little.
So, what do I mean by pivot? So, for example, if anybody was watching my social media, they probably think that I've done 500 different things. They're like, whoa, you were doing this, and then you were doing that, and then you were doing that, and now you're here, and now you're doing that, and it's like, what the hell?
We talked a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's like, whoa, like, you just all over the place. But sometimes you gotta pivot to give it. I heard that in a podcast, and I really liked it. Because, like, you gotta pivot to give it. Like, okay, this is what I want to do. I gotta do this and that to get there, but this happened. Now I gotta do that. I wanted to move to Toronto. I needed to get a place. I had to get a job. I had to pivot to give it. Yeah, I had to get a job. By the way, I'm job free already.
All right,
by the way,
quit your
yeah.
job again.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real. They fired me.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real. Yeah. Yeah. But I was so happy. I'm gonna tell you, it was like the happiest day of my life because like I was like, I just incorporated my business.
Yeah.
This job has taken too much time from me, and anyways, I had to pivot to giving. You feel me?
Okay.
So the ability to pivot, to like try something new, to go out of your comfort zone, to do something that maybe you didn't want to do, but it's gonna help you to get where you need to go. Pivot to give it. I definitely love that. And so that, and then also just like goal setting strategies. So, you know, how to set goals. I'm not gonna give you the whole SMART goals thing, whatever, but like another thing that I listened to in a podcast that I also would like to bring up in this event as well is like focusing on your strengths. Like being able to identify what your strengths are. And I've said this in like different ways in previous conversations that I've had, but like the answer is always within. So like for someone who is looking to fulfill their purpose, it's within inside of you. So like what skills do you have inside? What are you good at? And then once you're able to identify those things, nurturing those things, right? So, for example, like, I don't know, like, I want to say music. I'll just use music as an example.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, okay, you know what? Like, I'm really good, so I want to, like, work more on this so that I can blow it up into what I feel like it should be. Or maybe in doing that, you learn that you're actually good at like the business side of stuff. Like me, that's how I even got into the whole like music industry stuff, because like yeah, I like to make music, but I've learned that music is a hobby for me. It's a hobby for me, and I like to do it, and like probably I could make a living out of it, but I love the business side of it. And so like just like, you know, learning about yourself and identifying those skills that you have and how to like act on those and build on those areas.
So are you gonna have each host talk about a subject, or are you just gonna be random? Everybody.
I'm just gonna be throwing stuff at you guys.
Stuff all over.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I'm probably gonna do like a Q&A as well, just like for the people that are there. But I definitely want to talk.
Q&A. That's cool. Yeah.
I want to do topics where people like they feel
home,
yeah, because like shit, like everybody is going through shit. So like if we can like, obviously we don't have all the answers, but if we can share our experiences, that could help the next person. Let's do that. So anyways, all to say guys, January 28th is a vision board workshop and talk show event. It's gonna be lit, and there might be a special surprise launch at the end. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. I'm not saying nothing. But, yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. And I remember you said your vision board of the prior year came true. So, this is dope in manifesting what you really want. Yeah. And being accountable.
Exactly. Holding yourself accountable.
Holding yourself accountable. That's dope. I've never done a vision board before, so.
Until this year.
I'm interested still.
It's gonna be a good time.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. See, so make sure you guys come out. How can they come, or how's it work?
So I didn't do any tickets or anything like that. You have to personally DM me, okay? And I did this on purpose, intentionally, because I want to communicate with you. I want to talk to you. Whoever wants to come, I want to talk. I want to have a conversation.
It's personal.
Yeah, it's very personal. It's very personal. By the end of the event, like we're walking out, like holding hands. We're all like, you know. But no, for real. You guys could shoot me a DM. I'm sure I'm gonna be tagged in the video,
What's
so you'll see you'll see it.
Just shout it out. Where can they DM? What's your Instagram?
Shimeah Beyond. Yes. And make sure you guys follow my other platforms as well. So we got Shimeah Beyond. Then we got Beyond the Stars Network. Okay. Then we got Beyond Virtual Assistant.
Oh, hey.
And maybe we have another one, but you gotta check my bio.
That's dope. And how many spots are available? Is it limited?
There's limited spots, and honestly, like 2 went today. So and some went yesterday too. And there's not many.
So hurry up and get your seats, right?
Yeah.
That's dope. Yo, Shimeah, man, it's been a pleasure. I wish we had more time. One thing about you, every time we come together, I feel like we could go on forever.
Yeah, for sure.
But we'll save it for the next one.
No, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Y'all make sure you guys tap in, because Young Clips Chair Games, back, baby.
Jeez.
I keep it 100, like Borden in the streets, but especially when recording. Mint tea in the morning, then I beat up the beat like those to a Mormon.